What's up, guys? It's Brent here. Sorry, my computer appears to have a little delay with things. I just got off work, fresh in my uniform here. But I wanted to make a video talking about being misgendered. And ways that I dealt with being misgendered through my transition, and just my feelings and thoughts on it. So, as you may or may not know, I did not pass 100% till about a year on T. For the first 6 months, I had a lot of trouble passing. I had my top surgery in January, which I was 6 months on T. And even after that, I was still misgendered. I remember specifically one time I was hanging out, and maybe it also had a lot to do with the fact that I was, a lot of my friends still are lesbians, so maybe at the time I just wasn't passing well, and, it may have been different in a different circumstance, but because I was hanging out with a lot of gay people, and, I was just seen as a gay female. Because there were times when I wasn't, and I would pass more. So I think maybe that factored into things a little bit. And like I said, I remember I just had top surgery. I was wearing a button-down shirt, and I had sideburns too. My sideburns had already come in. My sideburns were like, to here. Okay, that's some pretty decent sideburnage. And this guy asked me, point blank, asked me if I was a guy or a girl, and I said guy. And I remember being so frustrated by that. I'm on T. I'm 6 months on T. I've had top surgery. My chest is flat. I've got sideburns. How could you not know that I'm a male? And I ended up unbuttoning my shirt and wearing my shirt unbuttoned the whole rest of the night because I was just so frustrated by that. And I found what worked best for me as I was getting misgendered, particularly during... at the beach. It happened often at the beach in the beginning of my transition. I felt what worked best for me was just explain to people, hey, I'm trans, and I go by male pronouns, and that's that. I also have found, particularly with my dog, which is funny, my dog is a female. She's a pit. She's beautiful. I'll show you her. There she is. Yeah. You say hi? Yeah. And the tail is wagging. Yeah. That's her new toy. She loves it. But my dog gets misgendered all the time. And one particular incident was just this past Sunday. I went to have brunch, and I took my dog with me because it's an outdoor place and dog-friendly. And my dog's also a great way to pick up chicks. Just saying. I want to get a girl. Get a dog, always a conversation starter. It also helps if they are as beautiful as mine. But anyway, this woman kept calling my dog a he, and I kept correcting her, and, it was brunch, and they got mimosas or whatever. I don't know if she'd been drinking, but people typically do at this place during brunch. But she kept saying it, and, this has happened more than once, and I think, oh, there's the cat. Cat never comes out. Where are you going, little Jern? Here. Oh, I tried to pick her up so you could see her. Risk my own life. Risk my life, Jern. And Shiloh, you're out and about too. It's a rainy day, but they'll freak out. She doesn't like to be picked up. Shiloh, on the other hand, I can pick her up. It's okay. Okay. Well, maybe not. Especially with the dog, because then the dog wants to smell them, and then they freak out. And I don't want to die on camera today, and they will put their claws into my neck, and my death is a good possibility. But back to what I was saying, I think oftentimes what meets the eye, or people, who really knows where people's perspective is on things, but I think oftentimes it's what meets the eye. And it's not necessarily, people don't necessarily mean it. Sometimes people just misgender by accident. I've heard lots of people call a male a female, just say, oh, her, in regarding to a him. So I think it's just how we see things. And that's also been my experience with my friends who are really cool and they understand transition. But if I bring someone who's new in the transition and they're just not passing very well, even though my friends don't mean to be, they don't mean to misgender them on purpose. It's just a habit, you know. This is what I'm looking at, and this is just how my brain associates it. So it does get better. The longer you're on T, changes do occur. The face changes drastically. I really think facial changes are important. There's a big difference between a man's face and a woman's face, and yes, some women look masculine and some men look feminine. But I think the facial changes are the biggest one. You know, you can sit here and say, "Oh, it's how you present yourself." And I do think that helps, and I think having facial hair helps. Although pre-T, I would put facial hair on, and I was still called a girl because my face was very feminine. And so I just think in terms of being incorrectly gendered, I think it happens by mistake. I think people also, you know, are focused on what they see. It's not necessarily, they're not trying to insult you, they're not trying to disrespect you. It's just habit. And I found what was helpful to me was just explaining my situation and educating people. Now I live a relatively stealth life. I've been passing for years and years without a problem. Girls, Journey, no. What was that about? No. You see that? See? Craziness. But, yeah, I think, you know, it's good to explain. Take them out. Journey and Shiloh. What are you doing? No. No, you don't need to be a bitch. You don't need to be a bitch. Yeah, you go to the room. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think it's just good to explain to people. You know, I don't think that can hurt. And, you know, you give a little education there. I used to get offended by so many things when I wasn't passing. And now it's just, you know, it's just whatever. I can just live the good life now that that I want to live. And people don't question things. And, I don't know, I guess that's just my take on it. I also kind of wanted to bring up the whole dress thing, because I thought that was it's really cool, this whole white and gold, blue and black dress. And what I thought was cool about it is how you could have two people, I mean, white and gold and blue and black are completely different colors, and you can have two people looking at the same object on the same screen with the same background, and still they're seeing this completely different. And I bring this up because it just goes to show each individual truly views this world in different eyes. Perception is different, person to person. And the fact that there's such a difference in the color, in something that unless someone's colorblind, something that we all seem to agree on, I think that's so powerful that two people are looking, or different people are looking at this same dress in different ways. And I think it's just important to reflect upon and remember that people do have different perceptions. People do see the world in different eyes, and it's important to have patience and be kind and try to keep an open mind and understand where someone's coming from, because people aren't always being rude or lying. They really do see things differently and interpret things differently, and then their actions are going to be based off of that. And I think it's just important to keep in mind how unique we are as individuals, and you know, what is right, what is wrong, what is real. You know, everything is so subjective. And I'll end this video in under 10 minutes with one of my favorite quotes from a philosopher way back in the day. His name was a scientist as well, Democritus. I could be pronouncing that terribly. But he said, all that's truth, he said, everything in this world is atoms and empty space. Everything else is opinion. And I live by that quote. I think it's very true. A lot of things are opinion. Even scientists disagree with each other, and nothing is 100% accurate. And I think it's important to keep that in mind. And just continue to be loving and kind to each other and open-minded to the differences, and maybe try to unite our differences instead of saying, oh, you're different from me, I don't want to be a part of you. See how you can work with someone who's different from you and use those differences to make this world a better place. So I'm on spring break right now. I just finished my midterms. It started. I'll have a little bit extra time, hopefully. Still be working. I want to stay ahead. But I'd like to make some more videos, keep more active with this channel. And, yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon.